Going live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mindset Monday. I'm here with my friend and co host, Dave Bergio. And I want to talk to you guys. We talked a lot about goals and a lot about, where everyone's at to start the year and what everyone's focusing in on. But I think one of the biggest tools that you can have and you can utilize is focus. So before we get into this, Dave, say hello. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, buddy. How's everybody doing? Nice jacket. Let's go Flyers. Bam, 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 bam.
Typical Philly shit. Trash. Um,
Love us all.
yeah. You're the only team that throws snowballs at Santa. So, all right. So again, this is a perfect example of why focus is a superpower. Okay. Now, I mean this. A lot of people think they can run multiple different businesses. They can have their attention set on 2, 3, 5, 10 different goals. And listen, over a long term and long haul, are you focused in on more than one actual goal? Absolutely. But in your day to day life and in what you're doing, day in, day out, hour in, hour out, minute in, minute out, you really have to think about how focused you are on what you're trying to accomplish. Like, be present, be in that moment. I can tell you that I have seen no less than 15 entrepreneurs, okay, in the last 12 months have very, very successful businesses. And because they wanted to start something else or do something else, their main business suffered and suffered substantially. And their new business really never got off the ground. Okay. That's not to say you can't have multiple businesses, multiple things, but you guys have to understand how important focus is, right? If you are somebody that is easily distracted, right? You get in like today, perfect example. Banks are closed, but my team's in, we're all working. Okay. It is very easy for me to hop on my phone, scroll through Facebook, Instagram, whatever, instead of actually coming in, knocking out everything that I have to knock out and accomplish and win the day, right? Because your whole year is made up of months, quarters, months, weeks, days, right? So the more wins that you can stack and the more things you can accomplish in each day, the more momentum you're going to build. And focus always will take away from that. Focus will strip you of your productivity. It'll make you frustrated. Then you get anxious and you go into a negative spiraling loop. Okay. It's a self sustaining loop. Whereas if you have your horse blinders on and you're focused on your goals, you're focused on what you came in to do and what you need to accomplish, you can't be stopped. All right. I can't stress this enough. Also, when you're doing your goals, focus is not listening to the critics. Focusing is not listening to your friends, your family, your loved ones that may not understand that you are trying to be on a different path. Doesn't mean you don't love them, doesn't mean you don't care about them, doesn't mean you're not friends anymore. It just means that you want more and you are going to go after it. Versus, hey, I'm going to be distracted. I'm going to go to the bar. I'm going to go see my friends. I'm going to do all these things that at the end are not getting you any closer to your goals. All right, Dave, what do you got for us?
Yeah. Touch on all that stuff. I mean, there's time for all that other stuff. You know what I mean? You want to go out, hang out, whatever. But if you have a goal at the end of the day, that focus is very important. We talked about it last week, some of the F's. And I think focus is one of the F's that's not, stressed enough or put in there. Faith, family, fitness, focus. Okay. Put the phone down. That's the first thing. If you turn off all notifications on your phone, unless you have an important one, your wife and your kids or something, but turn off social media, turn everything else, keep the phone down. And look, I was guilty of this previously. Once I turn notifications just off my phone, it's easy to get attached to your phone, especially when you're running a business. You're on it constantly, shooting messages. If you're doing social media stuff, you're having things come on there, but turn the notifications off. If you're focusing and prioritizing your time to prioritize and execute what you have on a daily task, okay, that alone is critical. Block out a time slot just for that if you want to pick up that phone. Jonathan talking about being in the moment. I mean, that's huge. That attention span. We all get this shiny object syndrome today. If we're not keeping that circle small, okay, you got this guru, that guru, you're paying attention. Hey, you can make an extra $500,000 this year by doing this. And you're already vested in the one thing. Now you're taking that 100% focus. How much of that percentage of that 100 are you putting into the next thing when you don't even have the first thing going yet? And it's a mistake that far too many people have made. We've made it. We've all been there. Let's keep it real here. But you don't have to have that whole how you need 7 different sources of income to be successful. Focus on what you have in front of you. Focus on that. Make that thing dominant. Dominate that until you get to the promised land when you can focus on something else. Okay. Shiny object syndrome, man. Like that's a big one, man. And I think people just get distracted. They think they can juggle all these things at once, and it shoots them in the ass.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say something on that 7 sources of income. Okay, there's a crazy stat out there that says, hey, most millionaires have, 5 to 7 sources of income, and that stat's true. It's also misleading.
Yes.
Okay. Millionaires don't get to be millionaires because they started 4 different businesses, 5 different businesses, and were mediocre in all of them. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with trying things and it not working, and then you go back to the drawing board. What I'm saying here is most millionaires focused on one stream of income got to be the best at what they did, and then they invested in other things, most of which are passive. Unless you build a business and you make it so strong that and such a great team that you have, and obviously that's the goal for every entrepreneur, but you have such a great team that, hey, all you have to do is check in once a week, once a month. You're not having all those streams of income. Most of those streams of income are passive, like real estate, like money from money invested into the markets, things of that nature. That's a very, very, very misleading statistic that is always thrown around there. The last thing I want to say when it comes to focus, I want to give you guys a little tip, right? When you are in the zone, when you're in the office, when you are creative, when you're doing whatever you need to do, there's two things that I always do. So, number one, before I leave my office, okay, I always have a notepad and I always update it. On the top, okay, it's any clients that I have to reach out to the following day, where they're at, just little reminders. And on the bottom, there's usually anywhere between, and this goes against what Andy says, but that's okay. There's usually anywhere between 5 and 12 macro things that I have to do, whether it's personal or business. Okay. Now, do I get all of them done? Absolutely not. Okay. But I make sure I get anywhere between 3 and 8 of them done every single day. And those are the things that are going to move the needle forward. All right. And that I do that every single day so that when I come in the morning, I'm not scrambling. I know if I get in at 8 o'clock, I already know what I'm focused on. I already know what I'm working on. And that carries me throughout the day. And I don't leave till it's done. And then quickly I just update it because things are always going to pop up. The other thing that'll help you with focus, okay, is try to time block a little bit better. Most people, I didn't realize the importance of utilizing a calendar. Okay. And so once I started utilizing a calendar, it eliminated a lot of the stuff that would pop up really quickly. And I still time block out, even with the calendar, I still time block out segments where I can work uninterrupted, right? So my calendar, I only open it like 4 or 5, probably 5 hours a day, and it does fill up, and it fills up very quickly. However, I have enough time to work on what I need throughout the course of the day that I can get shit done. All right, that should really help you guys. I don't want to keep these long. Appreciate you guys joining. I will say this. I'm sure that you guys got something out of this, so please like it and share it. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. We're doing 2 of these a week, Dave and I do a couple other ones. So please just make sure that if you got anything out of this, you share it with someone that it could help. Dave, thanks, my man.
Thank you, brother. Friday at 10:30, Financial Fitness Friday.
All right, guys. Take care.
See y'all then.